Okay, let's dive into something we've all felt but probably never really understood. Have you ever made what you knew was probably the wrong choice and then felt this incredible wave of relief? It's that strange moment, right? You know you might have just messed up, but instead of regret, you feel calm.
It makes absolutely no logical sense. A bad decision should feel bad. So, why does it feel so good to just have it be over with?
Well, the answer isn't really about the choice itself. It's about this one thing your brain hates more than almost anything else: waiting. And that thing is uncertainty. You see, your brain is wired for survival, and it sees the state of not knowing as a constant, low-grade threat that it needs to resolve. Being stuck between different options, just going over the pros and cons again and again in your head, it's completely exhausting. It just burns through your mental energy.
This is really the core conflict. On one side, you have the stress of indecision, all those mental loops and the endless second guessing. And on the other side, you have the calm that comes from a clear outcome. Any outcome.
So, this is where it gets really interesting. What's actually happening in your mind in that moment? Let's talk about the power of an ending. We all assume that when we're trying to make a decision, our main goal is to find the absolute best path forward. But here's what's really going on. A lot of the time, your brain isn't screaming for the perfect answer. It's just screaming for an answer. Anything to end that painful state of not knowing. The process is actually super simple. It starts with uncertainty, right? And that creates this mental tension. Making the decision is like a release valve. The moment you commit, that pressure just vanishes. Let's ground this in a really familiar choice, one you've probably faced before. Imagine you are agonizing over a job offer. It's not your dream job, not by a long shot, but it gets you out of a situation you hate. You're completely trapped in what-if land. After days of going back and forth, you finally just do it. You send the email, you accept the offer, the decision is made. It's done. That huge wave of relief you feel, it isn't really about the new job. It's about the fact that the internal debate is finally over. The mental noise has stopped. The uncertainty is gone. And this brings us to the most important part of all of this, the huge difference between feeling relief and feeling right.
Think about it. The calm arrives instantly. It hits you the second you lock in that choice, long before you have any idea what the actual consequences are going to be.
And that's why you can't mistake relief for rightness. Relief comes from certainty and closure, but being right, that comes from the outcome, the actual result, something you might not know for a long, long time. Ultimately, it all comes down to a simple, powerful truth about how we're wired. Sometimes your brain doesn't need the right path, it just needs a clear one.